Hi everyone, this is just a short video to teach you how to make a pie chart for visual representation of data. So what I did is I took a poll of people at the Athenian School to find out what type of cookie they preferred. And then I took this raw data and I calculated the percent of people that I spoke to who preferred each of these different types of cookie. And I want to represent this data in a pie chart. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight my data, go up and click Insert, and then over here you can see a pie and this down caret. I'm going to click that down caret and then 2D pie. And then here comes my percent of people pie chart. So that's just great. But there's quite a few things that we're going to have to do to modify this in order to get full credit. First of all, Excel always defaults and puts the legend at the bottom of the graph. And in biology class, we always make you put the legend on the right-hand side to get full credit. So if you click on the legend down here, there are two ways that we can move this to the right-hand side. First of all, you can right-click on the legend, and that will pop up this menu. If I click Format Legend, just a minute here, up will pop another list of choices. If I click right, then it will move the legend to the right-hand side. I'm going to go ahead and move it back to the bottom just to show you the other way. While this is still highlighted, I can go up here to Chart Design, add Chart Element, go to Legend, click on the right-hand side, and there it is on the right-hand side again. So that's great. This is a great visual representation. I can clearly see that the orange slice of the pie is the largest, and that represents chocolate chip cookies. But what if I wanted to know the actual value, the actual percent of people who prefer chocolate chip cookies? Well, Excel can put that on the graph for you. If you highlight the graph, go back up here to Chart Element, I'm going to go to Data Labels. That's going to put the percentages on the graph. And I have a choice of locations: center, inside end, outside end, or even best fit. I'm going to go with best fit. That looks like a great option. So now I know that it's 46% of people that prefer chocolate chip cookies. But what if I forget that this is a percent? What if I thought, oh, maybe this was the raw data. Maybe this was 46 people I spoke to. I couldn't put the percent into the spreadsheet when I first entered my data because Excel doesn't know how to graph a unit, so it doesn't have units on it. But I can go back up here to my Add Chart Element and my data labels, and I can go to More Data Label Options, and over here on the right-hand side, I can click the box Percentage, and then unclick the value, and there you go. All of my values now have percents, so it's very clear that 46% of people preferred chocolate chip cookies. Now I just want to do some minor modifications of the graph to make it even easier to read. First of all, these numbers aren't very dark. It's hard to read them. So I have them highlighted already. If I go up here to Home and click the bold button, they're now in bold. And that is definitely helpful. It's better, but I'm still having trouble reading the contrast between the 20% and this dark blue triangle. So I'm going to click it a couple of times to make sure I'm just highlighting this dark blue triangle. And I'm going to right click and come up and see where it says Fill. I can make this a little bit lighter. I can change it to any color I want to, but maybe I make that a little bit lighter, and that's a lot easier to read. I can do the same thing with any of these. I'm going to right click here, go to Fill. Maybe that one should be a little bit lighter too. You can do that and change any of the colors on your graph. Another thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to make sure that you have a good title that actually represents the data that is represented in this graph. Percent of people is not a good title. So maybe we could put something like cookie preferences, let's spell it right, at the Athenian School. There, that's a nice title. And that would tell me a much better idea of what is actually represented in the graph. So once again, you want to make sure that you have put in your pie chart, make sure you have moved your legend to the right-hand side, make sure that you have put in your data labels with the percentages, make sure that you have changed the colors so that it's very, very readable, and make sure that your title actually represents the data that is in your graph. So that's all for today.